Welcome to Yoga to Go. We've got 4 beautiful practitioners with us today at all varying levels. So we're here to have some fun with yoga. If we can all find a comfortable seat, sitting tall and relaxed, opening with the vibration, a universal vibration of Om. Everybody inhaling. Tapping into that vibration, we unify both with one another as well as that universal consciousness. Everybody creating an intention for the practice today. So inviting something into your lives or releasing something out, maybe gratitude for this one moment, and drawing the palms to prayer at heart center. And the inhalation, sweeping the arms wide and overhead, offering it up. And exhaling home to the heart. Finding your way to your hands and knees. And curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog. Pedaling it out, bending one knee and then the other. Rocking the hips, the head and neck, shoulders, releasing tension, the body moving gently from side to side. Perhaps even to the rhythm of the breath. Inhale to one side, exhaling to the other side. And settling into down dog for 10 full breaths. Fingers wide, extending out and up through the tailbone, taking some of the weight out of the wrist palms. Extending out through the heels, taking any folds out of the ankles. The inhalation remaining equal to exhalation, or Samavriti. And the inhalation, lifting the right leg extended briefly. And the next inhalation, stepping forward and rising to high lunge. So right toes aligned with the fingertips, lifted through the arms, the gaze, the heart. So grounded through the inside of the ball of that right foot, the toes relax, the breath relax. And the final pose, with regular practice, the front thigh coming parallel to the ground. And the next exhalation, palms to the mat, right leg back, stepping to plank pose, straight line from heel to head, for a few full breaths, extending out through the heels, the core engaged. And releasing to Chaturanga, the body suspended by palms and toes or simplified to the knees. Out to up dog or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, to the tops of the feet, maybe even the front of the thighs off the mat, and curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog. Inhale, lifting the left leg extended. And inhale, stepping forward and rising to high lunge. Gaze up between the palms without straining the neck. Shoulder blades soft and down the back. Next exhalation, palms to the mat, left leg back to plank pose. Slowly through the flow to Chaturanga, to up dog. Curling the toes under and pressing back to down dog for 5 breaths. Exhale, releasing to the knees to extended child's pose briefly. Inhaling to the hands and knees. Palms under the shoulders, knees and feet hip width apart. Inhale, lifting the right arm and left leg. So the gaze down, head and neck long. You extend out through the left heel, engaging through the core. Into a brief flow. Exhale, hand to navel, knee to nose. Inhale, expand it. The fingers and wrists, head and neck, curling on the contraction and all extended from fingertip to heel. This next time, extended, bending into the left knee, bringing the right hand behind to the left ankle, gazing over the right shoulder. Maybe gently pressing the ankle into a hand, deepening that opening through the psoas in the left leg and hip. Inhale, extended from heel to fingertip for 2 breaths. And exhale, releasing to the mat. The next inhalation, lifting the left arm and right leg. So both wrists are soft. And the exhalation into the flow. Chin to chest. Inhale, expanded, gentle gaze outward. Incorporating that cat-cow into the movement. This next extension, bending into the right knee, taking the right ankle and left hand, gazing over the left shoulder. Palm evenly grounded. Inhale, extending for 2 breaths from right heel to left fingertip. And the exhalation, releasing to clockwise hip circles, awareness to the tailbone circles expanding around the knees. The circles expanding with our attention to the breath inward, inviting a fuller, more complete breath. And slowly in the opposite direction. As you come back to center, to extended child's pose. And walking the hands over to the right side, lengthening from left hip to fingertip. Stretching long, breathing deeply, and slowly to center, and easing the hands over to the left. And walking the hands back to center, inhaling to all fours. Curling the toes under and pressing back to down dog. Inhale, lifting the right leg extended. And inhale, stepping forward and rising to high lunge. And to the drop knee flow. So on the exhalation, hands to the heart. In the inhalation, arms wide and overhead. The movement, the breath as one. Top of the inhalation, palms meeting overhead. Bottom of the exhalation, hands to the heart. The toe is still soft, grounded through the inside of the ball of the right foot. This next time you rise out to warrior 1.5, torso at a 45, arms extended, left quadricep still engaged, right toes still relaxed. And for the twist, palms to prayer, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Inhale, lengthening, and drawing the gaze up and over the right shoulder. And the next inhalation to warrior 1.5. And the exhalation to the hip opener, so hands to the inside of the right foot, stepping the right foot out a bit, keeping the ankle and knee in line, perhaps turning the right toes outward, and maybe coming to the forearms, maybe the forehead, depending on your flexibility. And the left knee can either be lifted or grounded. And pressing through the palms to rise. Curling the left toes under if they're not already, right leg back to plank pose. And through the flow to chaturanga, to up dog. Curling the toes under and pressing back to down dog. If at any point you lose that connection with the breath, soft and easeful, you're welcome to come to a restorative pose, maybe extended child's pose. 2 more breaths and down dog. Exhale briefly to the knees to extended child's pose. And the next inhalation to the hands and knees, curling the toes under to down dog. Inhale, lifting the left leg extended. Inhale forward and rising to high lunge. Back heel lifted, all toes forward. And on the exhalation to the drop knee flow. Exhale, hands to the heart. Back knee to the earth. Inhale, sweeping it wide and overhead. The rhythm of the breath, setting the pace of the movement. Incorporating a gazing point, either on the floor or the wall, helping to steady the pose, the flow. And this next time you rise out to warrior 1.5. Torso at a 45. One straight line from back heel out through the head fingertips. And preparing for the twist, palms in prayer. Right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, following that rotation from the base to the crown. The left toes relaxed. Lifted and light through the left arch. Inhaling to warrior 1.5. And exhale, palms to the mat inside the left foot, walking the left foot out, left ankle and knee in line, maybe coming to the forearms. You're welcome to simplify by bringing the right knee to the mat. The inhale, still equal to exhale through the nose. pressing through the palms to come up, curling the right toes under if they're not already, pressing back to plank pose. And as you release, coming to knees, chest, and chin. So hips lifted, elbows in, toes to the mat. And softening tops of the feet, hips to the mat, coming out and up to low cobra. There should be no strain in the back of the neck. A comfortable outward gaze. An outward spiral through the palms, drawing the shoulder blades down the back. And curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog. Two more full breaths in down dog. Releasing to the knees, to extended child's pose. For 2 breaths. Recalling your original intention or offering for your personal practice today. And inhaling back to the hands and knees. To the next stretch. So palms under the shoulders, knees and feet hip width apart. On the inhalation, drawing the right arm out to the side and overhead, followed by the gaze. So the hips still square. And we'll bring it to a flow. So in the exhalation, right arm under the left ear shoulder almost to the mat. And inhale, pressing through the left palm and rising extended from fingertip to fingertip. Twice more. And the exhalation, threading it through. And the inhalation, expand it. And this final time settling in, the shoulder down and away from the ear. Deepening the twist, maybe the left hand behind to the right hip. Continuing to draw the shoulder down and away from the ear. And the next exhalation, releasing the left palm. Inhale, pressing to all fours. Realign. Inhale, lifting the left arm extended. Palms wide. Heart, chest open. And on the exhalation, threading it through into the flow. And inhale, extend it. Twice more. And this final time, settling the shoulder, ear to the mat. Coming to our hand variation to deepen the twist. Particular awareness to the sensations from the breath in the twist, that gentle massaging action through the torso. And the next exhalation, right palm to the mat, inhaling to all fours. Curling the toes under, coming to down dog briefly. And walking the hands to the feet, feet to the hands, meeting in the middle of the mat, coming to the balls of the feet. So as you lift the navel, maybe chin releasing to the shins a bit more. Not through any effort, but just following the breath and softening as you release. Maybe some of the weight coming out of the fingertips, simply balancing on the balls of the feet. Preparing to rise, gaze forward, extending out through the tailbone, arms wide and overhead, inhaling on the balls of the feet. And exhaling, hands to the heart, heels to the earth for 3 breaths. In Namaste Tehi. Recalling your original intention. And the exhalation to Utkatasana or chair pose, knees, hips bent, palms facing, gazing up between the palms. The feet parallel. And on the inhalation, lifted with the right knee to crane pose. And all balancing poses coming back to that gazing point. The eyes unwavering, helping to steady the pose. And to Krishna Asana, crossing the right leg over left. Inhale, lifted through the left arm. Gazing up to the left palm. The connection of the lower legs helping to stabilize the pose, forming that small triangle of support. And the exhalation, crossing the top arm down and around, inhaling back to crane pose. And to Lahasyasya, bringing the bent right knee behind the bent left knee, lifted through the right arm, pressing through with the left hand, gazing over the left shoulder towards the uplifted right heel. Now the connection of the two knees, forming that supportive triangle. And bring the palms to prayer, right elbow to the outside of the left knee for the twist. Perhaps deepening the twist by pressing the top hand into the bottom, elbow into the knee. Hands closer to heart center. And on the next inhalation, pressing through the left foot, rising to crane pose. And to the seat of Isis, the hands to the hips, right leg hovering. Exhale, flex the foot. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, bending the toes, stepping forward to the balls of both feet, arms shoulder height. The gaze steady, and following the breath, exhale to the earth, and inhale, lifted. Doing your best to keep the spine upright, and the gaze to one point. Exhaling to the earth, inhaling, light, and lifted. Next time you rise, pressing off with the right foot to left, hands to the heart. Namaste Tihi for 3 breaths. Coming back to your original offering, and the exhalation to Utkatasana or chair pose. The depth of our peace equivalent to the depth of our surrender or offering it up. And the next inhalation, left knee lifted into crane pose. Gaze fixed. Breath remaining soft but full. And crossing left over right for Krishna Asana. So left heel pointing to the right, lifted through the right arm. Pressing through with the left hand as you lift up and out of that right hip for a beautiful side stretch. And the next exhalation, top arm across, down and around, inhaling out to crane pose. Exhaling into Lahasyasya, bent left knee, behind bent right. Inhale, extending out through the left fingertips, gazing over the right shoulder towards the uplifted left heel. Pressing that back knee firmly into the back of the front knee. And preparing for the twist. Palms to prayer, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, following that rotation from root to crown. And the next inhalation, rising to crane pose. And to seat of Isis on the other side. Hands to hip, left leg extended. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, bending the toes and stepping forward into the balls of the feet, arms lifted. The next exhalation, softening to the earth. And the next time you rise, pressing off with the left foot to right, hands to the heart. Namaste Tahi for 3 breaths. And exhaling to Utkatasana or chair pose. Knees, hips bent, gazing up between the palms. And the exhalation, folding palms to the mat, stepping or jumping back to plank pose. Coming out to Chaturanga, to up dog. Curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog. And returning to plank pose. And to knees, chest, and chin, or Ashtangasana. To low cobra pose, tops of the feet, hips to the mat, extending out and up through the head, neck, and shoulders. And curling the toes under, pressing back to down dog for 5 breaths. Gaze towards the ankles, extending out and up through the tailbone. Exhale, releasing to the knees to extended child's pose. Bring it to full child's pose, the backs of the hands to the bottoms of the feet, and the third eye to the mat, not the hairline, lengthening through the neck, the third eye slightly above the nose between the eyebrows. And on the inhalation, coming out, arms long to the hands and knees. And releasing to the forearms, so I'll instruct here for dolphin, but for anybody here or at home, you'd like to bring it to a handstand, headstand, or forearm stand, you're welcome. For dolphin pose, curling the toes under and walking the feet a bit towards the elbows. So the head and neck relax, gazing towards the ankles. No weight in the head, although the top of the head may skim the surface of the mat. Either into the stillness or dolphin push-ups. Dolphin push-ups, exhale, nose and chin out beyond the hands, almost to the mat. And inhale, lift it. Practice of Hatha Yoga, not to create strain, but to release tension and bring easefulness to the body and mind and spirit. 2 more full breaths. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2, and releasing the knees wide, palms in prayer, and settling back for a tricep stretch. So if you're not feeling that stretch through the backs of the upper arms, you can lift the hips and setting the elbows a bit farther from the knees and sitting back once again. There should be no discomfort or pulling in the shoulders, but a simple, comfortable stretch. And the next inhalation, returning to the forearms, stepping the legs back for forearm plank pose. For added challenge, you're welcome to lift the right foot, extending out through the right heel. Exhale, releasing the right foot. Inhale, lifting the left. And exhale, releasing the left knees wide, palms in prayer for a tricep stretch. On the next inhalation, rising to the hands and knees, curling the toes under into down dog, briefly preparing for a pigeon pose. Inhale, lifting the right leg extended. And exhale, right knee to the mat, right foot inside the right thigh to your degree of flexibility. Walking the hands out, maybe coming to the forehead, maybe not. Wherever you are is perfect. There should be no pain in the right knee. We're looking for a stretch outside the right buttock or piriformis. Slight adjustment of the hips to the right or left can bring awareness to that sweet spot of tension. And for the variation, walking the hands over to the left a bit. Still no discomfort in the right knee. And slowly walking the hands back to center, pressing to come up, either remaining there or bending into the left knee, taking the left ankle or foot into the hand or both hands. So the hips, shoulders still square forward, a comfortable outward gaze, not rotating the spine. And the next exhalation, releasing the left foot, left toes curled under, right leg back to down dog. And the inhalation, lifting the left leg extended. And the exhalation, left knee to the mat, left foot to the inside of the thigh, to your flexibility, walking it out, making those subtle adjustments, both in physical movement, awareness, deepening the breath. And for the variation, over to the right a bit. Ideally, top of the right thigh, foot still to the mat. And walking the hands back to center. Pressing through the palms to come up. Bending into the right knee, right hand to ankle or foot. Gaze forward. Maybe to a variation of both hands. Maybe the big toe to the forehead. And slowly releasing the right ankle, curling the toes under, left leg back to down dog. Coming to plank pose, to knees, chest, and chin. Elbows in. And out to low cobra pose. So this will begin some back bends. The lower body grounded. Tops of the feet, front of the thighs. Drawing the shoulder blades down and back. Two more breaths. And exhale, slowly releasing, head to one side, arms alongside the body. Taking a few breaths. Awareness to that gentle rise and fall of the belly on the mat. And for half locust or Ardha Shalabhasana, bring the chin to the mat, the arms under the body, so elbows straight, thumbs meeting under the pelvis. And the inhalation extending out through the right heel, right leg lifted. So the knee is straight, the leg only lifted, high enough for comfortable engagement from buttock to heel. The lower back, not so much. So the right hip resting on either the mat or the lower arm. And doing your best to relax the rest of the body while still extended out through the right heel. And the exhalation, releasing the right leg. And inhale, extending out through the left heel, left leg rising. Height, not as important as extension. Still retaining that equanimity and breath. Inhale to exhale. Exhale, releasing the left leg, the head to opposite ear for a nice even neck stretch for a few breaths. I'll instruct for the full version of the pose. You're welcome to repeat half if you like. Preparing for the full version, bring the chin to the mat, arms maybe more deeply under the body. Pressing the hands away from the chin, keeping the weight in the torso, lifting both legs up and off the mat. The arms deeply under the body, able to press the backs of the hands away from the chin, weight in the torso of the chin. One more inhalation. And exhale, slowly releasing the legs, the arms from under the body, head to one side. Everybody bending your knees, feet skyward, and slowly, gently rocking them side to side, releasing tension from the lower back. Coming back to center, preparing for bow pose or Dhanurasana. Taking the ankles in the hands. As you press the feet skyward, drawing in through the arms, lifting the body up and off the mat perhaps. Maybe alternately pressing the feet, then drawing in through the arms a bit higher. Maybe even the subtle sensation of the rocking of the body with the breath. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 1. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Slowly releasing and bring the palms to the mat, pressing to come up onto your back for bridge pose. So with the heels to the buttocks, feet about hip width apart. Just as we do in cat-cow, with that pelvic rotation, drawing the navel to the mat, lifting the tailbone, following that wave, pressing through the feet, lower, middle, upper back, lifted off the mat. Interlacing the fingers, hands palm to palm, working the upper arms deeply under the body without jarring the neck, maybe the pinkies to the mat, keeping it in the shoulders, chest. The feet still parallel. And the next exhalation, slowly releasing, gently with the hips to the mat, rocking the knees side to side. And as you come back to center, bring the knees into the chest, wrapping the arms head to the knees for a gentle belly squeeze. And releasing the head to the mat, taking the feet and the hands for happy baby pose, knees bent to either side of the torso, soles skyward, and gently side to side. And to reclining eagle twist, releasing the feet, right leg over the left once or twice, bending the left knee, hips to the right, knees to the left, and gazing over the right shoulder. Arms wide, ideally right shoulder still grounded, if not perhaps making any subtle adjustments in alignment, allowing the shoulder to soften, and then releasing the knees, following the breath, expanding the breath, and allowing that massaging to deepen the entire twist. Inhale slowly back to center, unraveling the legs, squaring the hips to the other side, left over right once or twice. Scooting the hips to the left, knees to the right, and gazing over the left shoulder. Attention inward to the breath, to the subtleties of the breath through the different parts of the body. Although technically we breathe through the lungs, that energy pervading our whole being. And inhaling back to center, unraveling the legs, bring the knees into the chest, rocking it back and forth for a spinal massage. So the hardest part of the practice will come now. We're continuing to rock back and forth, maybe slowly rocking it to face the front of the room. And we'll prepare for a forward fold. So with the legs long for Paschimottanasana, from the top of the sit bones, inhale, lengthening on outward through the fingertips, so both legs equally engaged. Inhaling, arms overhead. And exhale, folding, hinging at the hips, not the waist. And working with the breath to deepen the pose. So the inhalation, lengthening through the spine. The inhalation, softening. So it's not the sensation of extending through the chin, but out through the heart. Both legs still active, extending out through the heels. And inhale, slowly rising. Bring it to Baddha Konasana or cobbler's pose. So the feet together. Bring the knees into the chest. Feet coming together and knees out to the side. Bring the thumbs to the balls of the feet, using the elbows into the hip crease, opening the feet up like a book, and knees maybe a bit closer to the mat as you come into a gentle forward fold, leading with the heart, not the chin. Inhale, slowly rising. Praying for a wide-legged forward fold. So the legs wide. Maybe bring the hands behind you, rolling forward to the top of the sit bones. Both legs activated, pressing the backs of the knees into the mat. Bring the hands out in front, walking them out slowly, allowing the pose to manifest the subtleties, the softening, occurring in small bits. So still pressing the backs of the knees into the mat. A bit of dorsal flexion, pressing out through the balls of the feet, the little toes towards the torso. Maybe a gentle Ujjayi breath, that partial constriction at the back of the throat, making the breath audible to you, if not your neighbor. And slowly inhale, rising. Preparing for table pose. So the feet about hip width apart, hands behind, fingers forward, middle fingers parallel. Pressing through the hands, the feet, releasing the head as far back as is comfortable for 5 breaths. Wherever you are is perfect. The feet evenly grounded, lifted through the arches as well as the palms. And the next exhalation, slowly releasing and finding your way to a comfortable restorative pose. So we're going to take a few moments in Shavasana. For those of you at home that would like to get in an inversion that hadn't done so yet, this would be a good time. Maybe shoulder stand with the following counter pose of fish. Typically, corpse pose, the pose for Shavasana. Shavasana integrating the benefits of all the previous poses. Master Iyengar purportedly has said that corpse pose, one of the most difficult poses, as you'll notice, as the body less mobile, the mind more active. So laying in Shavasana, coming to that heart-centered breath. As you inhale, expanding outward from heart center to the periphery of the skin, and exhaling back home to the heart. Inhaling, expanding to the periphery slightly beyond, and exhaling home to the heart, continuing the whole body breathing. Slowly drawing your awareness back to your place, deepening the breath, taking your time to awaken the body, wiggling the fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. Inhaling, stretching the arms long overhead, bending the knees, and finding your way onto your right side for a few moments. One of the more famous of Swami Satchidananda's quotes, the founder of Integral Yoga, as well as known as the Woodstock Guru: be peaceful, easeful, and useful. And through the regular practice of Hatha Yoga, we can experience that peace, or that sat, Chid, Ananda, truth, knowledge, bliss, that we truly are. And in your own time, finding your way to a comfortable seat. So I'd just like to take a few rounds of Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing, forming the right hand into Vishnu Mudra, inhaling through both nostrils, covering the right, exhaling through the left, inhaling through the left, and exhaling through the right. Continuing the inhalation equal to exhalation on the opposite side, maybe with a numbered count, maybe with a simple mantra. If you have an advanced practice incorporating that. Alternate nostril breathing, balancing the right and left hemispheres of the brain, balancing all the systems, bringing peace and equanimity to our whole being. And the next time you exhale on the right side, finding a comfortable place for your hands, and closing with the universal vibration of Om. Inhaling. Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you to all the viewers. Thank you to all our beautiful practitioners. Namaste. Namaste.